Welcome to the first episode of She's All That. Hey. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to start a podcast for some time now, but I didn't know how to get started or what to do. And I woke up one day and I'm like, if you want to do it, just do it. Just do it. So, message to all of you, if you want to do something, just do it. Who cares if you don't know if you have the right things or don't know what to say? But, I just feel like we're in this day and age where we can do so much. You just have to just do it. So before we get started, I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Andrea. I'm 22 years old, and I know a lot of you know me already, but I can kind of go over a little bit of my story towards the end. But I wanted to start off with why I'm creating this podcast. So I feel like I have a lot to say on different topics, and I have a lot of friends that can also talk about different topics, and I would love for them to share their stories, and I can share my story, and just kind of have like a little talk with the girls, and the guys can listen. I would love for everyone to watch and just kind of, hear. It's kind of something that you can listen to when you don't know what to do or what to watch. You can just watch me and watch me talk. But I created this podcast just because I feel like a lot of topics aren't really talked about and aren't really informed. And maybe they are, but I've never seen them. So I just wanted this to be a platform where I can share information. And a lot of it is going to be, opinion based. Or it's going to be my opinion, my friend's opinion, or my special guest opinion. So don't take anything the wrong way. If you don't agree or if you don't see the same way, then that's completely up to you. We're just going to share kind of like our emotions and our opinions and feelings on different topics. So we're gonna start today by, I have some questions that I'm gonna answer. Some I'm gonna save, so some of you that asked them, I'm gonna save it for a different video, but I want to answer some of the questions you guys have. So the first question was how to stay motivated, and I feel like this is still something I work on to today, but I feel like everything starts within. So when you wake up, you have to have like a positive mindset, positive thoughts, because if not, then you kind of like attract that negativity. I'm like such a firm believer in you get what you give. So if you wake up and you think positive, then you will just have that motivation automatically. It does get tough, especially when you have a lot of things going on. I know I have a lot of things going on, to stay motivated, but you just have to keep pushing because everything happens for a reason and everything we do is for a reason. So if you just keep going and pushing, even when times get tough, I feel like that will help stay motivated or kind of find why you started it in the first place. So if you had that motivation to begin with, kind of remember why you had that at the beginning and just try to keep it going. Let's see. Someone else said, what helped you get motivated for the gym? So I want to have a video on a whole gym topic, but for me, I honestly, this has to do with like the motivation too. But I did lose motivation. So basically, when I had surgery, which I will talk about a little later, when I had surgery, after that I was kind of unmotivated. I had gained weight, and I just kind of, when you go through hardships, you gotta really pull yourself out of things. I was very unmotivated with everything in my life at that time, and I just kind of woke up one day, which I just woke up one day and I'm like, okay, what do you want to do and how are you going to do it? Because you're way too young to be complaining and to be negative and to be, a certain way. So that's when I kind of decided that I wanted to switch my routine up. So I started looking at different gyms just because I kind of noticed that when I was going to, which I still go to 24 Hour Fitness, but I just started noticing that I couldn't go by myself anymore. I was always asking like, who can go with me? Or I was always texting my friends, and if they couldn't go with me, then I wouldn't go. So that's when I knew I had to change something or just change a routine. I was thinking of switching gyms just because the gym I go to is in my hometown and a lot of people that I know go there. But that was also like my limiting belief at the time. But anyways, fast forward, I was looking around at different gyms. I kind of didn't know what I wanted, and I also didn't know if I wanted to do a private gym just because they're expensive, and I didn't know if I wanted to invest that kind of money. But I had never tried one before, so I was like, you know what? Maybe it is expensive, but maybe I'll just try it. I've also had multiple personal trainers before, and I love it, but it is expensive, and I just felt like, I don't know, something was missing. Something was honestly missing. So that's when I found the gym that I go to now, Empower, and it's an all women's gym. And like I said, I looked at multiple different private gyms, but when I went to this one, I met with the owner, which her name is Jennifer Malo, and I met with her, and everything she told me and everything she kind of, all the information she gave me was just like hitting all the right spots. And I had also seen her daughter Bella, that I've known when I was younger, that she's done bodybuilding competitions, and I was like, I kind of want to do that. I'm very spontaneous. I kind of just do things on a whim. I don't really think about it. But I was kind of like, I kind of want to do a competition. I feel like I needed something to work towards. So I was like, you're going to pick a new gym and you're going to just do something you've never done. Like, why not? I'm young. I feel like, especially at this age or any age, honestly, it doesn't matter what age you're at or what level you're at, you can always reach those goals, but you have to work towards it. And that's when I decided that I wanted to do a bodybuilding competition. So I went into the gym for the first time. I talked to her and I told her, like, I kind of want to compete and I know nothing about it. I'm starting from square one. So she kind of informed me on how that works and more information on what goes into competitions and the kind of work that it would take. And it was more of the diet, which I was kind of scared for, which like I said, I will talk about in a whole video in regards to bodybuilding and my first experience with that. But I took a class for the first time, and it was it's group classes, so we still weight train and we still like we'll superset, we'll do timed. You're still weight training, but you're doing it in like a small group. And oh my god, I fell in love with it. I just feel like I missed being part of a team. So whether it was like cheer or track or just anything, but especially being with a group of women. And I'm looking around and I'm like, dang, these girls are strong. Like they're strong, and I see them pushing themselves, and I'm like, this is exactly what I want to be around. You know, I feel like I was so comfortable my first class that it just made me so happy. And I'm like, dang, this is expensive, but I want to do it. Like, I really want to do it. And I feel like because I'm paying that money, it's forcing myself to go. So I started going to the 5 a.m. classes. And at first I was like, am I going to wake up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to go at 5? And once I started going at 5, the 5 a.m. group, oh my god, literally changed my life. They're so fun. As soon as I took my first class at 5 a.m., everyone was so energetic. The vibes were just crazy. And I was like, oh my god, like I was asleep and now I'm awake. I'm awake and I'm working out and I'm having fun. I always tell everyone, if it wasn't fun, I would not be going at 5 a.m. every day. I would be like, no, not 5, I'll go at 8. But I do it because I love the group that I'm with and I love my instructor, Celeste, you're the best. And I just had so much fun. So I feel like that it took all of that to honestly get me motivated and keep me on track at the gym. I was always, well, I thought I knew what consistency was before, but I didn't know what that was until I was on prep for competition. But I just feel like going to the gym every day, but just going every day and like not really giving it your 110% isn't gonna keep you motivated and keep you wanting to go. So, you know, at this gym, I was doing check-ins, or I'm still doing check-ins. Like I said, it's such a fun group that I want to go every day. So I think just finding kind of your routine, it doesn't have to be obviously a private gym. You can still go to your own gym, but kind of finding that like that reason why to go and having something to work towards. So set goals, you know, say, okay, I want to run a mile every day this month, and then just do that and post it. Literally posting it. I mean, some people might find it annoying, but who cares? Like, just post it. Post your goals. Like, post your progress. Like, if that's what keeps you, you know, accountable, then just do it. Or having someone too, just having a friend to say, hey, can you like make sure I'm doing my mile every day? Can you make sure I'm going to the gym every day? And it's not like as a mom like telling you to do something, but just kind of like having someone that you can check in with, and they can also be like, hey, did you even go today? Like, you still have time, you should go today. So for sure, kind of having somebody that keep you accountable or trying to keep yourself accountable. Some people can do it on their own, and like I have some of my friends that they can just go to the gym and they're good, like they push themselves. But I feel like I needed something else, and I needed that accountability, and I needed something new and just something to get me out of the funk I was in. So that's kind of like how I went to find my own routine, because for sure before, like I said, I thought I knew what I was doing, and I did. Like I've been working out for like 4 years now, but it was very like on and off. And I feel like sometimes when I would go, I was just kind of going until I just was tired, and then I would stop for like 3 or 5 minutes, and then I would go again, and like that's not going to be effective. You know, you need to keep pushing yourself, minimal breaks, just keep going. So there's that. Another question, or yeah. So she said, I want to hear how you juggle everything in your life, like working out, school, work, and all that. I get asked this question so much because I work 2 jobs. Um, I go to school full time. I have like 15 units, and I go to the gym every day. It's definitely like finding balance and literally managing your time. I manage my time to the minute, and my friends know this and they think it's so funny. Even when I hang out with friends, I'm like, okay, I'm hanging out with you, but not for the day. I have an hour, 2 hours blocked off for you, but that's about it because I have other things that I need to get done. It's definitely not easy, and it's definitely not something that I wake up and I'm like, bam, 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 this is so easy. Like, no, there's days where I'm exhausted and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm like, you know what? I have to just keep pushing. And as long as I have everything planned out, then it's not, honestly, not bad at all. Um, I use different apps or just use notes, but I use like a scheduling app where I can write down everything I have to do, because I feel like I do get very forgetful because there's a lot going on. Um, so I just try to be super organized with my time and manage my time. And not gonna lie, there's days where I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place and I'm running from place to place, and I get home late and I get like 3 hours of sleep. And I feel like we all have those days. That's what I love about our generation, is that we just do so much. And I love that we do so much, and like we keep our plates full because, you know, we learn so much from it. Um, but me personally, yeah, just staying on top of everything, managing your time, staying organized, writing everything down, and also sacrificing. You know, you're not going to be able to go to every outing. You're not going to be able to hang out with every friend. Or sometimes I have to say I have to call off of work because I have an exam, so I need to study. And I'm like, okay, school or work, like school is definitely more important. So if I have to call off to study for school, then I'm going to do it. You know, sometimes you can't do everything, you can't do it all. And I kind of learned this the hard way, and I'm still trying to work on it and learn on it, on how to say no. I feel like I've gotten way better at it because I've been more aware of everything going on in my life. So I really try to prioritize different things and make sure that I'm staying on top of it. And especially with school, school is tough. I know, oh my God. Taking a lot of classes is already so much for your brain. So you're already mentally exhausted, and then trying to work out, and then on top of work and all of that. So I know it gets really tough. So just trying to stay on top of all your things and just have everything kind of mapped out for the week. Um, Meal prepping for sure too, because I would for sure forget to eat because my brain's so busy and all over the place sometimes. If I didn't have my meal preps, I would not eat, or I would just eat something bad because I'm in a rush. So I would just like stop and buy something. So just kind of having that, even like the simplest things just mapped out, having your clothes ready for the next day, having your food ready to go, kind of having like your layout of your day will for sure help. And kind of just realizing that you're gonna have to start your day off early if you want to get all your things done. I didn't want to have to go to the gym every day at 5 a.m. I don't want to have to wake up at 4 a.m. But I'm like, if I want to get it done and I want to stay consistent and I want to stay on top of things, I'm gonna have to start it early. And I'm trying to work on my sleep schedule because I sleep so late sometimes. And I know sleep is so important. So if you can sleep early too. But I know it's hard. Sometimes I get off of work at 10 p.m. and I'm like, dang, by the time I get home, pack my lunches, do homework, then here I am sleeping 3 hours. But don't follow that. Try to get sleep. So that's that. Let's see, another question. Tips on embracing uniqueness. This is a good question. I feel like once you kind of tap into yourself, which is like another topic too. Like so many topics we could talk about in other videos. I didn't want to make this one too long. It's just like an introduction. But I feel like once, you know, you work on your self-concept, which if you don't know, I have a video on that. You can also look up videos. But once you kind of like work on being aware of yourself and you start having like these positive thoughts and just kind of fixing yourself in a way, I could say, I feel like you don't even realize that you're embracing your uniqueness. You just in a way don't even care about the outside world because you're just focused on your world. You know, like your bubble surrounds just you. Everyone else is just external things. So it's like don't let anything into your bubble because then it's not really your bubble. If that makes sense. But I feel like just kind of in a way being carefree, not in a way that it kind of hurts others, in a way that you're, you know, it's like malicious, but just kind of letting go. And like I said, I just feel like when you start working on yourself and doing like that self work and your inner healing and healing yourself, it kind of just all falls into place. So I feel like that's a really good question. And it's kind of hard to answer. So maybe I'll have to ask Andrea when she joins me for the next episode what she thinks. But I just feel like just not caring. And, you know, if you're caring, then there's something in you or some trauma that you have to try to work through in order for you to not feel that way towards, you know, someone or something someone says. But other than that, you just gotta be yourself. And I feel like half the time you won't even realize it until someone's like, oh, like that's kind of like what makes you unique. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice that. Like that's just the way I am. So yeah, that's that. Someone else said how to make your past not dictate your future and present self and how to stay motivated. Good question. I feel like it all has to do with your self-concept. I'm telling you guys, work on yourself and everything else will be fine. But it's kind of not letting your past, we're all raised a certain way, we're all wired a certain way in our past, and sometimes we go through trauma when we're little, when we're older, and we kind of can't let that, you know, make our future. Like you create your reality, you make your own future. But if you keep letting these like excuses and reasons to not make your future better, then you know you have to work on yourself. That's honestly the only answer. Watch videos, listen to podcasts. I'm like, listen to me. Just kidding. I'm telling you, another episode, and I'll talk about that for sure if you guys want to learn more about self-concept, because it's literally helped me so much, and I feel so much better than I did last year because I've been really focusing on that, like the end of last year and this year. But I had to really try to heal my inner child, and once I did that, I feel like honestly all my possibilities were endless. And same thing with my future. I feel like now, like I'm controlling my future. I am controlling my future. I'm creating what I want, and you really have to speak it into existence. But at the same time, I feel like you can't just speak things into existence without doing the work, like without doing the work on yourself. So I feel like anybody else have their iPhone storage full? Cause me. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yes, so I feel like once you kind of find the reasons that are holding you back from creating your own future, then you won't even realize that you're doing it for yourself already. So like I said, it all goes back to healing our inner child and trying to not use that as an excuse to not be where you want to be. Another question said, how did your experience feel being, or how did you feel being in your first ever NPC bikini competition? That was crazy. And like I said, I'm gonna do another video and bring some guests on that they're knowledgeable on that kind of topic as well. But me personally, it was honestly life-changing. Like I loved it. It was tough. It was super tough, especially the diet. I came from eating things I'm not supposed to every single day. I eat a lot of junk food, and it may not look it, but because I feel like I've always ate a lot of junk food, my body doesn't really change. I mean, I've always been active too, so maybe that's why. But I did not have a good relationship with food at all. And like I said, I needed something to motivate me to just be in the gym and just be a person. So I feel like because I wanted to do that, it just showed me what I can do, and I just loved it. I love that I could see. I learned so much about my body. I learned so much about food. I really had to get creative. My coach would give me like certain ingredients, and I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna have to be eating this for like 12 weeks, I'm gonna have to switch it up, find different ways to make this food good, because it is not easy trying to eat the same thing every day. And I'm not gonna lie, I had my days where I was like, I don't want to do this. I feel like with competing, there you have a lot of like high highs and low lows, and that's also, you know, the journey of like learning about yourself and your body and your mind. Honestly, not the brightest idea doing it during school, but I was like, dang, I really did that. I did 2 jobs, class, and this competition. So it was definitely super exciting. I was super nervous. I didn't think I could do it, but I kept telling myself like positive thoughts, like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this the right way. You're gonna stay positive. Don't have any expectations. Just do it. Just do it. Have fun. And I did, and I'm so happy that I did it. I had so many like great people around me too that were so experienced with it. Shout out Shelby, because she helped me so much with everything, just, you know, being like my big sister in this whole competition thing. So if you have any questions, you can DM me, but I'm gonna do a video about that. I mean, like I said, it was nerve-wracking being on stage, especially looking at the other girls. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I was like, don't compare yourself. Like, it's your first show. Like, you know, you have a lot to learn. But it was fun, and I'm hoping to do another one soon, so stay tuned. I still haven't posted it yet. I'm waiting for, I got like a stage video and like stage pictures, so I'm waiting for those because I want to post them, and I want to thank everyone. It definitely took a village to get me on stage. Everyone helped out so much. I didn't know how expensive everything was until the last minute, so everyone helped me out so much. So all of you that did, I appreciate you guys so much, because it really helped, and I was so happy and so excited. So the next question, or actually we'll save the rest of the questions for the next episode. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for following. Thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna share a little bit more about my story on the next episode, because I do want to share my story. So I just wanted to do a small video just to introduce myself a little bit, introduce why I'm making this podcast, and I named it She's All That because we're all that, girls. Everyone is all that. We can be all that. And we just gotta, you know, stay on top of our goals, have goals, stay positive, keep a positive mindset, wake up every day. You know, we wake up every day, so we should be so thankful that we're living, breathing, walking, you know, and everything that comes at us, all the hardships and all the obstacles, just look at it as growth, you know, look at it as a way to learn about things, learn about yourself, and try to keep that negative energy away, you know, even if that means cutting out certain people, cutting out different things, and just take that time and really just work on yourself, and it will change your life for sure. So I'm excited. I'm so excited to have more episodes. I just want it to be something where if you guys find that kind of topic interesting, you just click it, you watch it, you listen. That's it. So I'm very excited to have multiple guests on here. Hopefully we get a better background, because sad, I know. I even have a pink light, try to make it pink, but it's not really working that way. I have my little vision board, so cute. But I will hopefully get the setup a little bit better, get it running. But for now, I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for listening to She's All That.